All right, Mom, I'm starting. All right. How is everyone doing? Good afternoon, or should I say buonasera d'Italia. Ciao, amici. I am zooming in from Siena, Italy, to join you all for a little bit of drawing and painting practice. So welcome to the monthly Masterwork practice hour. Come stai? Grace, good to see you. Laura, great to have you here. Looks like you're still in Columbia, Maryland, not traveling to a wedding this time. Helen, Diane, I have so many former students in here. It's wonderful. Sarah, good to see you too. It's been a minute. Yeah, great. Mary Beth, my trusty assistant from the Smithsonian. Great to have you here. Margaret, Stacy. Okay, I have a couple more people coming in. Carol, hello, back to Washington, D.C. Lorraine. Candy, it's been a minute
Hi.
since I've had you in a practice session too. Wonderful. All right. Oh, and Lori, yeah, I just had you this spring. Well, welcome, Lori, to the monthly Masterwork practice hour. I'm so thrilled to see so many of you from different art experiences of mine in the past. So we have an hour together. I don't want to delay much more, but I would like to share with you all just a touch of what I've been doing out here traveling in Europe. So before I came to Italy, I'm here with my mother right now. We're enjoying a little bit of a vacation, even though clearly I'm doing still a little bit of class time and teaching and stuff like that, but that is all good and fun. Before I was in Italy, I was in my beloved second home of Aix-en-Provence, France, painting and drawing in the streets and the countryside there. So I spent 3 weeks there, staying with friends of mine and painting every morning, painting every evening. Here's some watercolors I did in the streets. This is a little landscape I did in oil. One morning, I did all of this thanks to my community of artists there, the Leo Marchutz School of Painting and Drawing. So I got to spend a lot of time with them. This was us at a reception, a vernissage for an exhibition they were doing for some of the artists who teach there. This is their beautiful studio right in the center of Aix-en-Provence, France, near, right across from the Place d'Albertas. So they host all sorts of lovely programs online with me in the US, usually visiting museums on the weekends, or you can spend an entire summer with them developing your skills, your observation, your color sensibility, your understanding of art history. There's all sorts of lovely things that they do for us avid painters and artists. So I am thrilled to present this practice series with you all in collaboration with them. And if you're interested in learning more about what they do, I am dropping a link to their programs and workshops in the chat right now for you all, okay? We can talk about them a little bit later. I have one of my dear classmates from the Leo Marchutz School, Grace Darden, here as well. She graduated with a Grace, an MFA. Grace, do you want to say something about, how Leo Marchutz made you to be the painter you are right now?
Well, thanks, Nick. I'm happy to be here and happy to talk about the Marchutz School any chance I can get. Yeah, I was at the Leo Marchutz School with Nick. I graduated a year after he did with my MFA, and the school really taught me how to look past what I'm drawing and more about it, focused more on like the relationships of things, of colors, of experience. It's hard to put it all into words in a short amount of time, but it really taught me to, um, I don't know, focus more on the experience of what I saw and use that to create something, I don't know. I don't know if you'd say unique or what you would say, but just something very much based on my experience of what I see. And so it's a very I haven't found anything else like the Marchutz School in any realm of art that I've looked for. So it's worth taking a closer look at their programs and what they focus on, their mission.
Wonderful. Thanks, Grace. I totally put you on the spot there, but you knocked it out of the park.
No.
Painting from experience is exactly what we're here to do today. Remember, this is practice, okay? So don't put too much pressure on what you make, okay? It's about, getting into the looking, the seeing, the making, and just getting your hands to do the moving, internalizing everything in the creative process in painting or in drawing, okay? So here, right now, we are working on the process. So let me show you what we'll be practicing on. I have been avidly painting in watercolor, and I knew about this artist already, but an Austrian expressionist named Oskar Kokoschka has been on my mind the past few weeks, and this is a watercolor by him. So feel free to get started, okay? I have a few more remarks and sort of guidelines and reminders that I need to make, but feel free to get started working on this piece right here. This is the image that we will be working from this afternoon, all right? So, why I chose this, I've been getting more into watercolors, and I'm trying to sort of feel out for myself like where certain techniques fit in my watercolor process. So if you've taken a watercolor class with me, that's sort of what I am trying to answer and trying to teach at the same time. All the different ways you can put color down with watercolor, and where do they fit into my process? Where do they fit into my approach? How do they reflect my vision? Sometimes I try to be a little too strategic about it, frankly. I will absolutely admit that sometimes I try to be, a little too thought out. And there's something about Kokoschka that a friend of mine described as brutal, okay? This is by no means a brutal watercolor. I could show you some more brutal portraits that he's done or figures that he's done in watercolor, but there's something about it that just kind of is like, you know what, I'm gonna just pick up my brush and start putting down some marks where I see them. And that's a spirit that I really appreciate in art, not overthinking it, just picking up the colors and putting them down. And that's why I want to practice on Kokoschka. This particular still life here is sort of a nice balance between just wild and brutal, as my friend put it, and having still some form and appearance to it, if you will. Okay, so friendly reminders. This is an opportunity to get some practice. This is not a class. Okay, I don't have a lesson planned for us. What we are doing is we're working from this masterwork by Kokoschka, and the goal is not to make a forgery. All right. The goal is not to make a forgery, but to have your own experience with the masterwork and practice putting it together according to whatever key relationships and essential elements you see. All right. Make your own parallel image with your own unique individual touch. This can still be an opportunity to learn. I'll be sharing insights about my process as the session unfolds. If watching my work here, I'll open up my desk camera now, and I'll get my light on so you can see what I'm doing. If watching my work will be a benefit to you this session, I recommend switching your Zoom meeting to side-by-side speaker view. And then you'll find a vertical bar, okay, to one side that you can click and drag across the screen to make the reference image more 50-50 with what I have on my desk. All right. Feel free to ask me questions. If you don't have, if you see me doing something and you're not sure why I started that way or how I'm sort of handling that obstacle in the image, feel free to, unmute yourself and say, hey, Nick, what are you doing there? How'd you do that? Or why'd you start that way? If you don't have something to say, I ask that you remain muted just to eliminate any distracting background noise. Hopefully, at 8 o'clock this morning in Siena, Italy, we had a whole basically Italian Boy Scout troop of people dressed in palio garb, drumming away, practicing their parades for the palio, which is happening just a couple weeks from now. Hopefully that won't happen this afternoon and it won't be too noisy. But maybe momentarily if that comes, I might mute my computer just for a second. Special thank you to our returning participants who regularly contribute. We, me, and the Leo Marchutz School are happy to offer this monthly online practice hour at no cost to our community. If you are enjoying this program, please consider making a donation to support the mission of the Leo Marchutz School of Painting and Drawing. Donations can be made at the link I am dropping in the chat right now. All right. I see I have a couple questions. Helen asked, how do you spell kokoschka? Kokoschka. I just put that in the chat as well. And then Diane, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, hi, Nick. Can you make the image a little larger at all?
How's that?
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, Dan, I'm gonna find a medium. I want to make it just a touch smaller on my screen, just so I can see the whole thing, but hopefully that's a reasonable compromise. Does that work, Diane?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lori, your hand is raised. Oh, Lori, unmute yourself. It's all good.
Can I use pastels if
You
we're
can
doing
use
a color
whatever
exercise
you
here?
please. You can use pastels, colored pencils, watercolors. You can use
Okay.
lipstick. You can use, coffee stains, anything you want.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I actually get that question a lot about this series, and it is dedicated time for your creative practice. So really, whatever medium you are inspired to work in, I will always, generally I choose images that are in color to accommodate people who are working in color media. But that doesn't mean if you just want to draw that you can't draw it. But really it's whatever you're inspired by that month, whatever you're motivated to get more practice in, it's really time for you. I've had people set up easels and do oil paintings in this session. Anything goes. All right, with that, I'm going to switch to my desk. All right, and I will get started on this painting. All right. That should be just fine for light. All right. So what have we here? Flowers in a vase. And here, actually, I want to try and get rid of this. There we go. Perfect. All right. So flowers in a vase. So usually, historically, in the past, even as recent as the past few weeks, I've always started with washes of the lightest areas of my image. And I'm looking at some of those background tones there. And I think I'm going to start with just some clean water and a big brush and start putting in some of those water in some of those areas that I want to hit with those background tones. So I'm looking at the rose and the bottom, some of this stuff on the left. All right. And I might pick up a little bit of my white, mix it in with some of my red to get some of these pinks in the background. And let's just start with that. I don't want to overthink this. So, mm, you a little more here. Ah, you know what? I've forgotten. I actually have no paper towels next to me. So I'll be right back in 10 seconds. All right, so I'm putting just some major colors that I see down, not thinking about it too hard. I am not even mixing really the colors on my palette first. I'm kind of just picking them up straight from the pans of color and putting them down where I see them. And generally, that is, when I'm looking at Kokoschka's colors, they're so unbroken. They're so secondary. They're not earthy. So I'm just going to keep going with that. And if I find that I've made something too dark, I might just take my paper towel and, you know, pick some of it up like I'm doing here. All right. And already I can sort of establish a bit of background. Right, not bad. So I started with a big brush, just doing some major washes. There may be more that I need to do later, but I am eager to just get sort of painting in this thing. So something I've been using on this trip is one of these nifty water brushes. So the handle is a reservoir of water, kind of always keeps the tip moist. And I'm trying to practice getting used to just, you know, picking up color a little more directly and getting it down where I see that. And I'm hoping with this brush that keeps the tip moist, it helps me do that. So let's get started. So seeing some of these faint blues on either side of the vase, but also this really pronounced blue flower at the bottom. I can't, my eyes sort of keep going back to that one. So let me just get something down there to represent that. Boom, boom. Now switching, I'm starting on the cool end of the color wheel now. Not again, not on purpose. That remark is just something that I'm observing as I'm painting. That's not part of my strategy necessarily, but these greens up here, all of these stems, trying to just bring some of this shape and form of this flower together. So I'm looking at the two stems that extend to the left, and you see that the one that is higher up is ever so slightly darker. So I am going to drop a little bit more color into where I see that. So what I'm doing right now is actually, I'm taking my big brush that I used to do the big washes, and I'm loading it up with clean water and sort of turning it into an abrasive scrubbing tool just to bring back some of the light in certain areas where I think I might have put too much color. I'll admit, I think this is a bad habit of mine. Not necessarily the scrubbing technique, but just the fact that I sort of find myself often in this position, instead of moving forward in the image, sort of trying to correct things already this early on. So maybe, let me see if I can just put this down and keep going, then maybe I'll scrub some more things later. Okay. Enough with the cool colors. Let's switch to warm stuff. All right, so I've got lots and lots of beautiful violet moments that I want to start getting down here. So we got all the way here. Let me switch this angle of this camera so that that way that might look a little easier for any of you who are following along. Okay, so usually what I like to do is I like to do just sort of one lap around the whole piece, kind of like I've done here. Touched a little bit of everything, but nothing is fully developed all the way. And then take a moment to start seeing, okay, what do I need to adjust? What do I need to develop? And usually that means creating darker marks. So I'm not doing that right now. I have a very lime green, faint lime green that I'm sort of bringing into some of the stuff, some of these stems, but soon all of those deep, dark, cool violets, that's sort of what my eye is looking to next, to try and give some form to these flowers. All right, not bad, not bad. I think I need to develop a little bit more what's happening on the right. So some pale violets, I think, are in store. Oop, some red got into that somehow. I don't know how that happened, but that's okay. C'est pas grave. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful little violets with a little more red. All right, so I think my painting is in a little is in store for a little more scrubbing, and I will show you how I do that. Okay, so looking at my image, the flowers, they're coming out, doing the best I can there. But I think these stems in the middle, I want to be a little more faint. Okay. This, 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 too dark. When I look at it in relation to the rest of what's going on, I want these to sit a little bit lighter in my image. So what I do is I take a clean brush and some clean water, moisten my brush, and then basically scrub the area that I want to lighten up. So this is one way that I can make things lighter after having put a mark down on my paper, right? So it takes patience, just keep scrubbing, keep doing the motion on your page, and eventually you will lift up some of the pigment on the paper. In a way, it may feel like you are scrubbing the top surface of your paper off. That may be sort of where you want to stop. But if you re-moisten certain areas of where you've painted, you can actually lift up and remove some of the pigment that you put down. So not all is lost once you've put something down in watercolor. There are ways to make it lighter again. So I see quite a few places where my image could benefit from that. So I'm gonna give it a little scrubbing love right now. Oops. Do a little bit more of that on some of these stems out here on the left. Voila. And I want to clear up some of this on the right as well. Okay. All right, so now I'm working in a little bit more of like a tertiary orange. So I have a bit of yellow mixing with a little bit of, or like a sort of a mustard yellow hue that I've mixed with some blue to give sort of this pale earthy color that I am using to give just a little bit of articulation in certain parts of the image. I see it in some of the flowers. The more I look at it, I get past all of the secondary colors and I'm seeing some of this sort of, I want to call it just Coca-Cola. It reminds me of like, there's like Coca-Cola gummies at the candy store. I feel like this hue of tertiary orange looks a lot like that. And I see it actually within quite a few of the flowers. Um, so I'm trying to make sure I get some of that to help give articulate some of the crazy secondary violets and reds and stuff that I see. Especially down here, I've been neglecting this. What is happening in that bottom left corner? Oh my God. All right, so I've pushed the darks in some areas, and now, again, I see some areas that I want to make lighter again. Sort of this constant tug of war, this push and pull between light and dark in my paintings. So back to scrubbing. I've totally smothered some of the light in the center of some of these flowers. So let me scrub away and try and bring that back. Let's see what we could do here. So still just scrubbing some light back into some of these flowers. Sort of just trying to see, where does my painting look a little too congested? Maybe I can resolve that. And down here, too dark.
Hey, Nick, it's Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, can we see some of our participants' pieces to this point? I enjoyed seeing that in the last practice session.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually I like to wait until the end and we could all take a look at everyone's.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. And we're just, oh, okay. I forgot that part.
Is that all right, Laura?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I gave us the reference image maybe a few minutes past the hour, so let's give this another 10 minutes. I
Oh,
want
okay, good.
to have a go, and then I'll make sure, I want to take a group photo
I
so
was
that.
I was nervous you were coming to time. That's all.
Oh, no. I'm keeping an eye, and yeah, I want to definitely take a look at what's there, but also take a photo so that we can all take a look at what everyone has done afterwards. No problems there. Also, while we're chatting, just in general to the whole group, I don't want to take you away from what you're doing, but I would be curious to know how many of us are actually working in watercolor today. Yeah, I see a couple hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sarah's little artist friend next to her, also working in watercolor. Welcome. Sarah, does our little artist have a name? Oh, okay. Maybe they got frozen for a second. That's okay. Yeah, so it looks like a few of us are working in watercolor.
Yeah,
Carol,
I'm in
good to
pencil.
see you.
I'm working with watercolor pencil.
Okay. Is it who is that?
That's Mary Beth. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. So I'm asking actually because I want to hear from you all, not necessarily in this session. I want us to keep working on the image, but I am looking to create more watercolor programs, both online, in person, abroad, with the Leo Marchutz School. And I have developed a little survey with just a handful of questions to learn from you all, my lovely practice hour participants, what it is that you are interested in learning about, or what it is that you are challenged by. So after every one of these here, actually, let me do this for a moment, just because I'm addressing all of you. After every one of these sessions, Rose Guth, Rose Ginocchio, excuse me, she got married. Sorry, Rose. She sends a follow-up email after all of these sessions with an image of the group and everything we've done, and just updates on the next session, et cetera, et cetera. And she is going to include a link to a survey. Okay. So in the follow-up email that you will receive from Rose Ginocchio, the executive director of the Leo Marchutz School, will be a survey that I kindly ask that you take just 10 minutes to fill out, and that will help me greatly in developing some programs, some courses, maybe some painting trips, who knows, that would best help you all with your watercolor practice. I'm specifically focusing on watercolors. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop teaching other things, but generally, I'm trying to help the Leo Marchutz School develop and bolster what they offer in watercolor. So please keep an eye out for that email from Rose, and if you could take a few minutes to fill out the survey in that email, that would help me immensely. All right. So, I think my paintings had a chance to dry. Let me get a couple more marks on here. What is left? All right, so I have I have a dark violet that I'm working with here. Just trying to drop some extra dark marks where I think my image needs them. I'm still getting the hang of controlling value with this thing because the tip is always moist. To get really dark marks, I sort of have to wipe the brush dry and then quickly get some marks down before they start getting diffused with water. Okay, a little more there, a little more there. I want something a little greener this time. Let's get some of you. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, everyone, how about just 5 more minutes with this image and then we'll take a look at what everyone has got. So loop this last mark down. I didn't even see all this cool green at the bottom down here. Hey, no worries, Lorraine. Thanks for joining us. That's the most important thing, that you are here practicing. No problem at all. Hey, Deborah, thanks for coming. No worries at all. Hope to see you in another session soon.
Hello.
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 All right, so just one more minute here. And then I'd like to see what everyone has got. Okay, everyone. So how about you start wrapping up the part of the image that you are working on now? And shortly, I will remove the reference image and we could take a look at what everyone has been doing. Right. All right, everyone. So that's our time with Kokoschka. Just want to quick friendly reminder. Oh, this totally forgot about this slide. If you aren't already, and if you're coming to this more from the Marchutz side than my former students at the Smithsonian side, just if you want to stay in touch, check out my website, siteandin.site. On the front page, this is a screenshot of the front page. If you scroll down just a little bit on the front page, you'll find an area called practice memos, and that's where you can sign up to receive monthly invitations to this practice hour. All right. So if you want to stay in the mix, sign up for practice memos on my website, siteandin.site. And you'll get every month in your inbox, you'll get a Zoom registration link to join us for this practice hour. I will say there is a little bit of, I'm making one exception. I'm having an exceptionally busy month next month, partly due to my upcoming wedding. We can have snaps to that. Yes, Lori, jazz hands, all of that. So unfortunately, I don't have any Sundays available next month. So I won't be hosting the practice hour, but we'll be back again in August. Okay, so keep an eye out in your inboxes on Instagram, wherever you find info for these practice sessions from me or the Leo Marchutz School. And we will do this again in August. Okay. So the moment of truth. Let me take the spotlight off of my screen and let's see what we've got. All right. Wow. Margaret went big. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Wow. Diane, lovely petals. Oh my goodness. All right. I want to take a screenshot real quick, and then I might take a minute just to look at a couple of these more closely. But yes, hold those images up. Thank you so much. Wonderful, Carol. Just a little higher, Carol. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, and I'll take one more just for good luck. But these all look beautiful. All right. Wow. All right, Diane, I want to take one quick look at yours. Look at the pedal work. No, keep it up. Keep it up, Diane. Keep it up, Diane. Don't put it away. Wow. Into the petals. Really into the shapes of the petals. I love that. And the vase is just a whisper of blue and green. It's barely there, just like in Kokoschki's image. Really nice work. And I love the yellows that are sort of singing underneath all of the violets. That's a harmony right there. The yellow and the purple violet. Really, really nice work. See, and it's not about, making it perfect to what Kokoschka did. All right, Sarah, I'm gonna highlight you. I want to see what our little artist friend has. Yeah. Sarah, do you mind introducing our little artist friend?
Hi, yeah, this is my daughter, Isabella.
Isabella. Mucho gusto, Isabella.
Hola.
Hola, oh, she's shy.
Hola.
Isabella, it's okay. You can hide behind your painting. It is a gorgeous watercolor. And Isabella, I want you to know that I'm so thankful that you've joined us for this practice hour. And no matter what you do after this, whether we see you again in a session or not, I hope you keep painting. All right. And Sarah, nice work, you too.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous work. All right. Okay, everyone. It's been an absolute joy to see you all, to paint with you all. I'm glad we all got some time together to practice. I don't know. Oh no, August. We'll do this again in August. If some of you are, hold up real quick. So Lori's asking, do we need to sign up each month? Lori, if you are already signed up for my practice memos on my website, you do not need to sign up again. You will get those automatically every month. I just want to make sure that if you have been enjoying this practice series or getting something out of it, that you can keep coming back. So yeah, thank you, Candy. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all in another practice session in August. If I'm seeing you in some classes later this summer, later this fall, I look forward to working with you all then again. But in the meantime, have a great summer. For all of my friends in DC, stay cool, stay hydrated. I hear it's hot, okay? It's raining here in Italy, believe it or not. But stay cool, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all next time, all right?
Have a wonderful wedding.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Nick.
Ciao. Arrivederci.
you.
Buona serata.
Oh.
Oh.
Lamborghini, Ferrari, Stracciatelli. All right. Ciao, everyone. Bye.
No.